passed the empty stool to the left of the patrons. Out of nowhere, the stool started moving on its own, before it finally tipped over for good, startling the 3 remaining people at the bar. But the moving chair was only the otherworldly appetizer for what the cameras caught next. Watch closely behind the patrons as they examine the tipped-over bar stool. Watch again in slow motion as a small apparition materialized from thin air and ran out of the bar.
There's a YouTuber by the name of Dan Bell, who's known for exploring abandoned places on his own and getting it on video. The purpose of these videos is not to catch paranormal footage, but simply to explore these places. However, in this specific video of his, a number of unsettling events take place that would make most people run for the exit. This video was shot at an abandoned children's asylum, and you can tell the eerie vibes from the place from just outside. Dan's camera battery inexplicably explodes in his hands, which is only the start of the strange occurrences. Shit! The fucking battery exploded. Soon after, without even knowing it, Dan is being stalked by an unknown presence. In this shot, you can see what looks like the shadow of someone's arm making a motion as if they had just told someone to shush. In a follow-up shot in an adjacent room, if you look closely, you can notice something peering in through the doorknob hole to this door. Exactly 1 minute later in the video, what looks like a white figure can be seen peering at the camera as Dan turns. And when his hand moves away, you can see the figure is gone. This white figure might match the white figure that peered through the doorknob hole. And finally, when Dan finds himself in a room with blood on the floor, you can hear a voice in the next room over, saying what most closely resembles "Let's get him." Dan had a theory of his own as to what was following him around in there.
I think that a former patient has returned to this facility, to this house, and is living here, in one of the rooms upstairs.
Others believe there may have been more than one person in there, and that they had some kind of white sheets over their heads to hide their identities, planning on robbing him or worse. Powlee's Island is a small town in South Carolina, which by the immediate looks of it is a very peaceful place. But there is a story that many of the locals swear by, known as the Gray Man. Many locals claim they have seen the Gray Man, and some go as far as to say that any time the Gray Man has been spotted, a hurricane has swept through the island shortly after. All sightings of the Gray Man have been on the coast. There are many pictures online which have allegedly caught the Gray Man, but this one video captured by a Coast Guard surveillance camera captures a strange gray apparition moving down the boardwalk, and this was captured during Hurricane Florence. YouTuber by the name of Time to Play TV decided to spend the night at an allegedly haunted hotel in Georgia. the Riverview Hotel.
As you know, this is where we went to. This place that the video you're about to see is a haunted hotel. It was made in like 1916 by 3 women who had it built, and then they ran it, and they obviously eventually have passed away. And then I guess the sightings started happening after they started passing away. People would see a woman in the hallway, stuff would move, stuff would happen, and people would say, hey, that's the girl I saw. The pictures on the wall is the woman I saw.
His plan was to set up a camcorder in the room while he slept and try to capture any paranormal footage. Unbeknownst to him until after his visit, a visitor had recently died in that exact room he stayed in. Before even setting up his camcorder, strange things already started to occur, like the fan turning on and off and the bathroom door shutting on its own.
My fan had shut off and turned back on. See that? Now the fan and the light are both plugged in behind the bed, and they're connected. So that shuts them both off. You hear the fan shut off? And the fan by itself is turned off, I want to say, maybe 2 times, 2 or 3 times. The bathroom door over there, it's closed. Now, I don't mean a little bit. I mean, it's fully closed. Now, the reason it's open now is because I thought maybe a breeze, maybe something. There's no windows open. I got nothing going on, and that thing right there is just closed all by itself. It's closed right now, guys. Just move a little bit. I'm telling you, just see that? There's no one in here with me. Completely alone. No? There's no one here, guys. I'm using the front facing the camera, so it's kind of hard to see. But you can see. Watch. Watch. See, so watch. It doesn't close by itself.
Then night came, and upon checking the footage the next morning, he could see things were just as strange overnight. Not only the chair, but also the entire bed moves, he decides he's not going back to sleep. Whether this was an elaborate hoax or truly a haunted hotel room is up to you to decide. It's the story everyone's heard 100 times already. A house nestled in the Long Island town of Amityville, which will forever be linked to what is known as the Amityville horror phenomenon. On November 13th, 1974, the estate was the scene of a mass murder. Ronald J. DeFeo Jr., who was 23 at the time, shot and killed with a rifle his entire family while they were asleep, which included his parents and 4 siblings. 13 months later, the Lutz family purchased the 5-bedroom, 3.5-bathroom home at a drastically reduced price of $80,000. But they only lasted 28 days before leaving it due to strange phenomenon, including George Lutz, the father, waking up at 3 a.m. every morning, which was around the time Ron DeFeo carried out his murders, and the youngest daughter, Missy, beginning to speak to an imaginary young entity in the house. A camera investigation was conducted of the house, and out of all the pictures taken, one stood out the most. The boy in this picture is commonly thought to represent the youngest DeFeo family member who was murdered in the house, and also the entity that Missy had been communicating with. This is another video uploaded by a YouTuber who decided to venture out alone to an allegedly haunted abandoned building. This time a house in a rural part of Japan, seemingly in the middle of the woods. While scoping the perimeter of the house, the cameraman is suddenly startled by this.
音がやばい。何何何？手じゃない今。ねえ、ちょっと待って、手打つ目だった今。ねえ。
A hand can be seen grabbing the corner of the house, causing the man to flee. Even after this though, apparently the cameraman is still determined enough to enter the house to continue with the investigation, against anyone's better judgment.
なんか聞こえる。うわ、ちょっと待って。なんか聞こえるんだけど。何？そう。うわ、聞こえた。うわ、聞こえちゃったどうしよう。うわ、ちょっと待って。
Shortly after entering the basement, this is what the camera catches.
うわねえ。いや、マジでやばい。なんかいる。絶対いる。何
The cameraman was clearly being stalked by someone in this house. By who remains a mystery. Some reactions to the video even suggest that it may have been the ghost of someone who formerly lived there.
Thank you guys for watching my scary video. Watch it with your own eyes. Thank you. Bye.